When it comes to winter coats, men have tons of options. For instance, the cloak. Not as popular as it was 100 years ago. Nowadays, we only see certain military units, like my Marine Corps, still pulling off the cloak, and you can wear it in formal occasions. Seriously, gents, cloaks are incredibly functional. Not only are they going to protect you from the elements, they're going to keep you warm, but if you're wearing dress clothing underneath or a uniform with medals, you're not going to crush it underneath like an overcoat would. And hey, if you need to arm yourself, if you're being attacked, throw it right off, pull out your weapon, you're good to go. In today's video, gents, I'm talking winter jacket options that are gonna make you look amazing. Now, gents, I'm going through this video pretty quick, but if you've got more questions, don't forget about the links down in the description. I'm linking over to an infographic, an amazing infographic that breaks out all these jackets. In addition, I'm gonna link over to an article which goes into a lot more detail. And if you wanna buy any of these jackets, I'm gonna put the links not only down in the description, but also in these detailed articles so you can read and learn more about these particular jackets. So starting off, for those of you that live in climates that you don't get much of a winter, we're talking South Texas, maybe over in Mumbai. Yeah, you really it gets cool, but it doesn't get cold. In that case, you can bring in very lightweight jackets. Go for pockets, go for colors that are classic, but maybe have a little bit of fun with it. Right here, as you can see, I went with an olive green. You could go for a dark brown. You don't always have to go for charcoal gray. Now, the jacket I've got on right here is a modern military fatigue. Notice it goes about 6 inches below the waistline, but here on the shoulders, it could have epaulets. This one doesn't. It's a more modern, sleeker look, but notice it has the double chest pockets and it has the ammunition pockets below. Next up, we've got a rain jacket, also known as a Mackintosh. This is a modern Mac. It goes about 12 inches below the waistline, well above the knee line. Older Macs, you're going to see them go about 6 inches below the knee line, a full-length coat there. Older Macs also used to use a rubbery material that wasn't breathable. Right here, I've got a material that's not only breathable, but it's going to have what all Macs should have, and that is water resistance. The water's going to hit it, it's going to roll right off. This is great whether it's sleet, snow, going in and out. And what's great about a shell like this is that you can layer it. So I could wear a heavy wool sweater underneath, then throw this on top, and this is great. Again, you're out in Seattle and you really don't get really tough winters, and this would be a great piece to bring in. Now, when looking for a good Mac, pay attention to the small details. For me, I like things like actually a hood that zips open in the back so I can actually pull this out, as you can see, and be able to cover myself. It still looks professional, so when I keep it down, but if I need the hood, it's there for me. I also want to make sure that the zippers run smooth and that the jacket fully seals. You want a jacket, again, that's going to be functional. Now, what about the trench jacket? Now, the traditional trench jackets, you're going to see them in a lighter tan color because they were initially made from gabardine in the Boer War. Then during World War I, the trench coat really made a name for itself, and it was simply durable. It got the job done. Now, does this work for the modern day man? I think in the right environment, yes. So if you're in an area in which you're going to be dealing with rain, inclement wet weather, and you commute a lot, I think a full-length trench is fine. Because we've talked about full length, going with shorter jackets. What should you choose? It really depends on how you move about. If you drive in a vehicle, I think you need to go for a shorter jacket. If you commute a lot, then I would go for a longer jackets. Long jackets like this one right here, they're going to do a good job of actually protecting your entire body from the elements. Now, what about a down jacket like this? It's casual. Look at the color, look at the style. Overall, this is going to be something that you don't want to wear with your formal clothing, but on the weekends would be perfectly fine. What's great about these type of jackets, incredibly lightweight. The problem with jackets made from down is that whenever you get them wet, they're going to lose their insulating properties, because it's not the feathers that actually keep you warm. It's the air that is trapped in these pockets right here. So if you're going to be, dealing with inclement weather, make sure that you've got a shell that you can put on top of it. All right, gents, now let's add some style to your winter wardrobe. Let's say you're in southern Arizona. Suede is where it's at. A couple things about suede. First up, we've got texture. Now, human beings, we want to touch textured things. The ladies come up, oh, they just start touching your suede jacket. Where did you get this? It starts conversations. It's going to separate you from all the other guys out there. Now, I know what a lot of you guys are thinking. I don't wear suede because I don't want to get it damaged. I don't want to get caught in a rainstorm. I don't want to get snow on my jacket and all of a sudden I get spots and the thing falls apart. Now, being a suede jacket owner myself, I've never had an issue. But if you're worried, use a suede protector. Once a season, just simply treat your jacket, put this all over your jacket. Now, before you do that, you want to test a small portion. Make sure it doesn't discolor your jacket, but these protectors are made specifically for suede. They go right on it and they will help basically the rain or the water to roll right off. Next up, gents, we've got the classic Blouson. This has been a staple in menswear for well over 60 years. It was actually made popular after World War II. The cotton material, the elastic on the wrist, the elastic in and around the waist, the higher cut, all this comes from the tank jacket, which was made to fit a soldier's body close so he could get in and out of the tank and protect him not only from the cold, but also the heat inside the vehicle. Classic Blousons, when you open them up and you look on the inside, you're going to see bright fabric in there. Right here, you see a tartan. This is a key characteristic in the classic Blouson. Now, as with any classic jacket that's been around for years, what you're going to find with all these styles is that different manufacturers are going to take different interpretations on the classic and they're going to change it up. So right here, we've got another Blouson, but this one right here does not have a bright fabric on the inside. And when it comes to the elastic around the wrist, actually we don't have elastic, we have buttons, but it does the same job. And you can know when you find a jacket and you really like it, just look for the remnants of the style and say, you know what, does this serve the purpose? This one is a bit heavier than that last jacket I was wearing. So if you needed something warmer, this jacket would be perfect. And maybe you like the color, maybe you like the style, maybe you like the material, but always be looking for what works for you. Now we're getting into medium weight jackets, and what you see here is a modern field design using a quilt material. So a quilt material, this is going to actually be where the material is divided up into sections. This jacket in its history is going to be very casual, from the design to the fabric actually used. Even though when you look at this jacket, people can say, oh, that looks actually pretty dressy, but it's going to be the pockets that give it away. Now I said a modern field design. A classic field design would have two breast pockets, two ammunition pockets. This does have the two ammunition pockets, but it also has only one breast pocket, and it's got hidden pockets all over the side. But why does this still have a dressier feel? One's going to be a darker color, and all the jackets I'm talking about here, usually the darker colors, whether it be navy, whether it be charcoal, whether it be black, those are going to be the most formal of all the jackets in general appearance. But when you go up and you look at the style can make it more casual, and other details like additional pockets. So these guys brought in a zipper. If they had only gone with toggles or buttons, it would actually be more formal. Now this jacket, very similar to that last jacket in design, but very different in its level of formality. So first up, it's a lighter colored jacket. This olive green right here, a lighter green, is going to be more casual. Next up, the material. So this is made from a synthetic material. Anything made from a synthetic material is going to be more casual than cottons or wools, which are going to be your luxury materials. Wools oftentimes, and cashmere being the most formal of all the materials used. But when we open this up, we also see brighter colors. So any jacket that uses a bright color like this is more for a hunting design, especially with everything else we see here, or it's going to be more casual. So bright colors, more casual. Now, what about a drab color like this? We've got gray. Is this going to be formal? The answer is no, because look at the design of the jacket. This is a field jacket. We've got the double breast pockets right here. We've got the double pockets right here. But it's not going to be as casual as that last jacket. Even though we open up, we have a little bit of a brighter lining here. Overall, this is actually made to be a tougher jacket that actually is going to keep a gentleman warm and going to be able to use it in a wide variety. You're not going to want to wear this with a suit, but it would be something you can definitely wear with business casual. Now, I know some of you guys are thinking that last jacket incredibly boring, so how about let's go for something like this. Notice right here, we've got a very unique modern style. We've got a mixture of different things. Actually, when you open up this jacket, you'll see that it's got a built-in vest that uses a zipper. Zippers in general, though, are going to be more casual, but the overall design of this jacket is something a lot more modern. It's an Italian company that designed this, and they wanted to go for a modern interpretation of taking a sports jacket, mixing it with different materials. So we've got wool, we've got cotton. This is going to be more of a fashion piece. It's something that has not yet earned its stripes as a classic. A classic is something that stands up to the test of time. But if you like the look, have fun with your winter jackets. I'm saying first have your base jackets down, but don't be afraid to grab a jacket maybe that's on sale that you just think's great, and is it going to help you stand out from the crowd? Quick question to make sure you're paying attention. With a jacket like this, should you wear a pocket square? Yes or no? Let me know down in the comments. Next up, we've got a variation of the trucker jacket known as the Sherpa, also known as the cowboy jacket. I personally love this jacket. Growing up in West Texas, I had one as a kid, and I can tell you, when I had to work out with the horses, it was just something that you grabbed your jacket because it was durable. You could get it dirty. You could throw it in the wash. It was just a great jacket that you could work in. Because of the style of the jacket, because of the material used, because of its history, this is going to be a casual jacket. And when you pair it with jeans, make sure that the denim is not the same color. Go for something darker. Go for something a lot lighter, or better yet, go for a pair of trousers made from an entirely different material. So maybe you want to go for twill, maybe a brushed twill, maybe you want to go for a gray flannel or a pair of chinos. Now we're getting into the heavier weight jackets. Let's start this off with the classic leather jacket. A wide variety of different styles and options out there when it comes to the weight of the leather, when it comes to being insulated or not. But in general, leather is going to be one of the most durable and tough materials out there. It's going to, in general, be casual, but going with a black leather that has a very smooth grain can actually be a jacket that you can wear even with business casual. Leather is durable, leather is tough, and leather has been worn by men for thousands of years to be able to protect them from the elements. So depending on the style you go with, it really comes down to how much of your body is going to be covered with the jacket. You're going to see leather dusters, you're going to see full-length leather jackets, but you're also going to see shorter length leather jackets. And I think that this is the classic style. We're going to see the bomber, we're going to see the moto, we're going to see the classic motorcycle. Note, some of those are going to be more casual when they've got all those options. Other ones are going to be a little bit dressier, but the point here is that this is a go-to jacket when you need something that's tough and can deal with the elements. Next up, we've got waxed cotton jackets. As the name implies, they're made from cotton, and then they've had actually a wax material applied to make them water resistant. Now, you're going to need to get it re-waxed over time, but these have been used by hunters and outdoorsmen over in England for centuries. These can last a lifetime when taken care of. What you want to look for a waxed cotton jacket is to understand this is always going to be a more casual jacket. It was developed for outdoorsmen, so the styles in general are going to be a bit more relaxed. This was actually made to actually throw over a sports jacket. So they're going to have oftentimes a lot of excess material in them. That's perfectly fine for this casual jacket, although if you want something closer fitting, then maybe go look at a more modern cut style. And now we get to talk about one of my favorite coats, the pea coat. Now, this one was made popular by sailors, initially Dutch, then the British, then American sailors. It's still actually issued by the US Navy today. The pea coat is really a great durable jacket made from tightly woven wool, and that's going to be the key here. Now, wool, why would you use wool when you're out sailing? Because wool can absorb about 40 to 50% of its weight in water and still feel dry, still actually keep the wearer warm. Other key characteristics are going to be the length. It goes 12 inches below the waistline, just covering the buttocks. We've also got these larger lapels here and the double-breasted front. Now, what about bright colored sports jackets like this? Ski jackets, snowmobiling jackets. They're always going to be casual, but they do serve a purpose. This brighter color going to be much easier to spot you on a mountain when you're lost, whenever you're injured and ski patrol is looking for you. So guys, there is a purpose for these, but understand that it's probably not to wear this over a suit, and you want to look at getting an additional jacket. So what to wear with a suit? Gentlemen, a classic overcoat. They come in a wide variety of different styles, but what you're going to notice with the classic overcoat, they're going to be made from 100% wool, and in general, they're going to be darker colors. You'll also see some camel coats out there. I recommend going with a darker color in general. It always feels more formal. Charcoal gray is my favorite because you can get a little bit dirty and it's not going to show as much as black, but I know a lot of guys are going to gravitate towards black, navy as well. Really, it comes down to what you're already wearing, so there's no problem in matching that exactly with your suit. Now, when it comes to the fit of the overcoat, you want to make sure that you try it on, that you get it fitted to you when you're wearing a suit underneath, or you're wearing at least a big heavyweight sweater. The point is, give yourself room. You don't want to buy an overcoat that fits you just perfectly when you're only wearing a shirt, because the point of the overcoat is to go over your other coat, your sports jacket, your suit. And for those of you that live in extreme cold areas, you dapper dogs up in Canada, you know what I'm talking about. Guys, when it gets well below zero, you want to pull out the parka. So the parka was actually designed for explorers that had gone up to the Arctic, and they took a cue from the natives who were living up there. They saw how they were using actually parts of the animals, especially the fur, especially in and around the head area, to layer up and to create something that really didn't care about looks. It was all about providing insulation layers to protect you from the elements. A good parka, gentlemen, is going to start with a great design. First up, it's going to have a hood. You got to be able to protect the head, and you want one solid piece. Next up, the outer material is going to be wind resistant and also water resistant. Next, the length of the parka. This is not going to be a short jacket. This is going to easily cover your buttocks, probably just be above the knee. And then when we look at the inside, the insulation, you're going to find a wide variety of different materials used, but you want to have an insulation and you want to have enough in there that it's going to give you about a solid inch of material. It should also seal up. I like a parka that's going to have a double seal. Not only is it going to have an inner zipper, it's going to have that outer zipper. Now, what about everything else that a guy needs with his jackets? We're talking about winter accessories. Guys, I've got you covered in this video right here. The winter accessories that every man needs to know about. I talk about scarves, hats, the different types of hats, talk about gloves, and a lot more. Go check out the video, guys, right here. I will also link to it down in the description.